Again. Hey y'all, welcome back to On Your Hero. I'm going to talk about something that probably some of y'all been through, maybe not, who knows. By the way, this butterfly spirit, by the way, 314. Um, so I tried talking to my Gramps and my dad. They don't live with me. They don't live nowhere near me. They live like 3 hours away from me. Been moved away from them since I was like 17, 16. Anyway, I started telling about how I started to feel better as a black person. About how I had a stigma and I didn't know I had a stigma until I started learning about ancient Kemet, and then I started to actually feel okay about being black. And I had to get out of Christianity to do so. Then they started to say on me I was tripping. I need to do more research, and I started telling about Ptolemy Philadelphus and how he conquered Egypt and try to force Hellenization on people, the Judeo-Christian and the Islam on people. No, my dad just wasn't wanting to hear it. And my grandpa was telling me, "Oh, I'm still gonna pray. I'm still gonna." I told them, some of the stuff I told you guys about how when I prayed, when I prayed for my sister to stop getting raped, Jesus was just sitting there, or God was just sitting there watching because they were omnipresent. They watched me pray and pray and pray, and her rape got worse and worse and worse, and she was getting thrown against the walls, doors, and kind of came out with bruises and things whenever it was over with. And the whole time I prayed, the worse it got. I was told that the truth will set me free. You were back when I was getting molested myself. So I went to go tell my dad the truth about what was happening. And then he punched me in the chest 3 times and told me, "Are you gay now? Are you gay now?" And I just fell on the floor, gasping for air. And I just looked at him and I just told him, "You're like my other abuser," because I was already getting abused with somebody else before he got custody of me, which was the same person that was raping my sister or whatever. So, and they was telling me, well, and I started telling about ancient Kemet and how the Bible was stolen from off the walls of ancient Kemet, and it's got stuff about the zodiac in it, and it's got the Greek gods hidden within it, with Adam and Eve with the apple, with Pandora's box, with different things like with Samson and Hercules, and then Jesus and God, and you have Zeus. So they just, because they wouldn't, the African people wouldn't worship the Greek gods, so they hid them within the Bible to get the black people, the Africans, to worship it without, worship them those gods without knowing it. So I try to tell them all this, and I told them that there's a lot of stuff I learned about Black history, but and I learned that this stuff the Bible has been in circulation even before slavery, the European slavery. Even though black people's been enslaved by the Arabs too. I was telling them all these things and like how I used to think that, developing a business was only for white people and everything. And my dad was one of the biggest persons of history. And I was trying to tell them these things. But when I told my dad, this is where it gets sad, because I told my dad about how, I left, because, they always, pastor only prayed for the police officers and never the black people. And I left because he lied to me, because I read the Bible. I told my dad said that I read the Bible like 5 times. So I'm saying, like, how can you? So I said, okay, so, what's hyssop? You know what that is? What's myrrh? You know what that is? And he's like, oh, isn't that a wine? Oh, isn't that like a perfume? I was like, what does quickening? He's like, oh, doesn't that mean you do something really fast? I'm like, so no. Then he said, do you even know what the Bible means? I said, yes. In Greek, which is where it's far from, holy means helios, which means sun. Bible means Bilios, which means book, means sun, book. And he says, no, it means basic instructions before leaving Earth. I'm like, you can't, I'm younger than you are, and you've read the Bible 5 times. So, what are you talking about? So he's like, so you don't believe that Jesus Christ rose again and everything? And now it's like, no, I don't. And I'm not wrong in believing that. It's in, it says it that he didn't. He just, he says it was going to be like Jonah. Where Jonah got, where Jonah for 3 days swallowed in a whale, but he survived it. Okay, Jesus beat down. Okay, 3 days. He was passed out, but they gave him medicine and they healed him by night. They gave him myrrh, which is medicine. They gave him hyssop, which is medicine. Which means in order to be on the cross, in order a dead man can't drink medicine. They can't take medicine. You have to be alive to take the medicine. But I was telling my dad these things, like how I feel that black people have a richer history, but ancient Kemet, and it was just stolen, and the Bible was pushed on people, and it was just, he just wasn't hearing it. But when I was little, though, he was always pushing history on me. Like this month is February, and every February I had to do 3 book reports on black people. So here I am thinking that he would be proud of me that I finally came around to understanding black history, and I finally came around to understanding that. But he just wasn't having the fact that I was talking about the Bible, but I couldn't help that. The Bible is about the stealings of ancient Kemet. I mean, it just is. In ancient Kemet, where black people, everybody was learning from black people. I didn't know that black people had a good history like that. And everything was stolen. The science and the blood moons and the stuff on the walls, and how they came up with the firmament, but they messed it up because it really means the waters of noon. With the waters in the sky. All these different things. And I'm telling him. But the sad part that I'm going to tell y'all about is when I told him about, and every time I tried something, like with baptism, every time I got baptized and they told me it's supposed to protect me from demons, and I ended up getting possessed by something. I couldn't see it, so I couldn't actually say it was a demon. I just know that it pushed me on the ground, an invisible force pushed me on the ground from the right side of my ribs, right side of my body, and I felt like I weighed like another 15 pounds. And I was like scratching. I felt like something was in me, and it just didn't feel good. But after that, I became really dark. Like, I slept in the dark, but I don't even like sleeping in the dark. I slept in the dark. I wore black hoodies. I had like mask under my eyes right here, like football players wear, and all type of shit. And I was really dark. Now I thought about getting rid of my abusers and just doing away with them, but that wasn't until like after I wanted to kill myself. But after all this stuff, but anyway, I was telling them about how, well, but prayers are supposed to work, Matthew 7:7, ask and you shall receive, a knock on the door shall be open to you, and the Bible go ahead and says you can call out to Jesus, and other different verses in the Bible. But when I did it, my sister's rape got worse, and worse. And all just what he had to say about it. He didn't feel sorry about it at all. Because now that he knows I'm not a Christian anymore, as well as my grandpa, but my dad was like, this is what he had to say about that. He says, does the Bible say that your prayers will be answered instantly? I was like, what? He said, does that say that? He was like, well, I was like, well, but Jesus said that you are that. He said that is it not written that we are gods? He said that himself. He's like, yeah, but that's a lowercase J, that's a lowercase G-O-D. I looked in the Bible. He said, this says that you are like a God. And I'm reviewing my Bible, and I'm like, that's not what it says. So it says exactly what I read. So I don't know where he's getting this. And he's the one who read this 5 times. I'm like, I don't understand it. So he's sitting there lying to me. But what he had to say to my sister getting raped was this. Was that right there. Does the Bible say that your prayers are going to be answered instantly? And I looked at him. No, I didn't look at him, but I was on the phone. I was like, yes, it does. He's like, where's it at? Where's it at? I was like, it doesn't say it. It says it through examples. Every time somebody prayed in the Bible, they instantly got hurt. Or they was instantly, like, something happened right then and there. Like when the preacher Elijah, wherever, the 42 kids was calling him Baldy, and instead of grounding the kids or spanking the kids or putting the kids in timeout or telling them to say you're sorry, the dude prayed, and then instantly 2 bears came to maul those 42 children to death. Utterly ripped them apart to shreds. That prayer happened, boom, right there. Okay? You got other times where, I mean, there's a crap ton, and I don't want to get into it that much because it's really fucked up. I mean, I guess I could get into it in a separate video. You're just going to have to let me know in the comments if you want me to. Because I will read it, but you're going to be sad afterwards because it's really fucked up. It's fucked up. What God does to people. Anyways, yeah, God of the Bible does to people. Anyway, that's what he had to say. And I was just like, wait a minute. You know, so he didn't care. And I was like, what about that time where you punched me 3 times in the chest after, you know, I was told, I went to church, and church told me is the truth will set me free. And I go and I tell you about me being molested all those times. And like, this is not like a one-time occurrence, folks. Like, this isn't a one-time rape or one-time molestation. My sister was going through that from age 3 to 10. And I was going through my molestation from age, was started at 8. And then it ended, and then it started back up when my dad got custody of me again from 12 to 16. Okay, so this is a long ass time. It's not one time. It's not one rape. It's years of it. Okay, it's years of molestation, and then to be able to, you know, I tried everything. I tried children hotline, all that, whatever's available to me. In the end, all I was thinking about was killing myself. Because Jesus wasn't helping me, God wasn't helping me, all that. And I told him this. And all he had to say was, well, you're tripping. We need to keep studying. I'm like, so, wait. So, if I studied the Bible correctly, then Jesus would be real? It's like, the more I look at it, the more I study it, the more he ain't real. That's just the thing. He didn't show up on the slave boat, 1. He didn't show up for the people in Syria, 2. The God of the Bible treats the women like other shit, and just gives them away and has them have sex with dudes that they don't want to have sex with. Newsflash, but there's women in the church too. He's supposed to be their God too. Ain't he their God too? Like, that's the most fucked up thing about it. And, you know, it's just, you know, and then I talked to, and the moment he hung up the phone was when I said, okay, then, I mean, I already caught him. I already caught him with him not knowing about what hyssop was, or what myrrh was, or what the word quickening means, you know, because quickening is a pregnancy term, which is, you know, the first movements of the fetus in the woman's belly, or the woman's womb when she can feel it. And my grandpa was like, oh, I'm just going to keep praying, I'm just going to keep doing that. And I'm sitting there like, I just gave y'all examples, and they kept telling me this. They kept telling me, well, I've experienced this, and I've experienced that, and you don't know what all these different things I experienced because I done seen things, but they're lying. Like, they was lying to me because when I was little, and I was coming to them with my paranormal experiences, they told me to my face, yo, that must be Satan, that must be some of the devil or something, because, well, I haven't had any experiences like that, so I don't know what you're talking about. But now, all of a sudden, now that I've left Christianity, now all of a sudden, you've had experiences? No, the time to tell me when you had those experiences was when I was little and I was going through all those weird shit where I was popping out my body and shit. Going through the weird shit when I was being attacked by invisible fucking things after being baptized. I'm supposed to be safe and everything else. Especially when a motherfucker reads the damn Bible and then a fucking weird demon looking thing. I don't know. I just want to call it as a demon because it looked like something I saw on TV, and I was 8 years old, and it came out the damn hallway, and the chairs and shit started turning back and forth and clanking together, and a bunch of papers flew out of the damn rooms and into the front room where this dude was reading the Bible. And I'm told, and what I see on TV is that what makes demons come out is Ouija boards. What makes demons supposed to go away and exorcise them is the Bible. So why is the Bible having the same effect as an Ouija board? That is the problem. Okay, so when I'm telling them all these different things, they say, I don't know, you have an imagination, blah, blah, blah. But so now that I left Christianity, you know, and I'm telling about how I feel proud to be a black person, now they want me to go back so I can feel like shit again? So they want me to go back into Christianity, the thing that was making me kill myself, the thing that wasn't working has evidence of not working every time I tried shit that they said. So if I already tried everything that they said, why go back to it? It doesn't work. If I take a good look and I look at black people in history, and if the Bible's been made that there's even a 1600s Bible, 1611 Bible from King James, and I go through and I see a fucking video of 8 black businesses and 8 black economic businesses that got destroyed by white people, and that's from 1900s to like 1954 or 19 89 or something like that, about how all these black people in these, they was developing these black businesses and Black Wall Street and all these different things. But every time they would make it that a rape case where black people, well, a black man raped a white woman, and they would just, you know, go and tear up their business, or riot their whole business and tear their shit down. Okay? And so, I mean, my dad was like, well, does the Bible say, you know, the prayer is supposed to work immediately? I'm like I said no, but the Bible shows examples of that. So here's the deal. What the church, I'm like, okay, so what the church says, which I guess was where he's coming from, is that you just got to keep praying and keep persevering. Okay, so I prayed. So everybody's talking about Jesus revealed himself to me, blah, blah, blah. This space right here in the front room, I cleared this space every day. I mean, every night. Every morning at 1 o'clock when she goes to sleep for 2 years straight. I think I missed like 5 days. And I don't know anybody who's ever said this, because no one has said this. And I sat there and I said, okay, Jesus, I'm ready for you to reveal yourself to me. I did that for 2 years straight. All the while where I had the Bible in between me and her, and I was praying for her to get a job and everything when she got out of college, which didn't happen. Okay? And that didn't fucking work. Okay? And the Bible was in between both of us. We both held hands. So 2 more people are supposed to come in Jesus' name and blah, blah, blah. And it's supposed to work. Well, I did that for 2 years. At the same time, I was tasking him to reveal himself, and nothing. And then, so I told my dad about that. He's like, well, maybe it wasn't your time then. I'm like, what? I was like, so it wasn't my time then. So basically, I was going to church from age fucking 12 to when I was, I was like 28 now, so I was, 27? So that was for like 14 years. Okay, and it wasn't my time yet for God to reveal himself to me, but I'm sitting here doing all this stuff, and I'm sitting here having to walk around with this fucked up feeling in my heart all the damn time, like I'm on surveillance all the damn time, and not having shit work. And did you have faith when you opened the Bible? Did you ask God for wisdom? Yeah. Matter of fact, I did ask God for wisdom when I read the Bible. And guess what? It still was the same fucking words. It still looked the same. I still understood it the same when I read it myself. I don't understand what you mean, because when I also that wasn't the first time I was told that. Okay, I was told that I had to ask God for wisdom and it would help me with my life. Okay, well, there was a time when I was 16, I was with my dad, living with him, and I would stay up all night. Okay, I would get home at 5 o'clock off of school, and I would stay up for 5 more hours. So I would stay up until 10 fucking o'clock at nighttime trying to do my damn math. And I had all the notes. I had 3 tutors. I did everything I fucking can to get this math problem straight right. Okay, because I failed at algebra. I sucked at algebra. Okay, I still do. Algebra sucks. I can't stand this shit. My brain can't seem to absorb it, no matter how many tutors I got. No matter if I asked God for wisdom. I asked God for wisdom so many damn times, and I didn't understand anything more than what I already was understanding it. Nothing happened. I mean, damn. I mean, did God make Solomon, okay, the wisest man ever, that ever will live, and he still ends up worshiping false gods. So what wisdom is there to God if you are given wisdom directly from God to be the wisest man that ever will live, for nobody can be more wiser than you, and you still fuck up worshiping false gods? So first of all, if that's the case, then how the hell we even have a Bible? We probably shouldn't even trust the damn thing, because we know it's hell. God had to flood the whole fucking earth because people did so bad. I mean, it's stupid. But then, you know, I go through with my Gramps, you know, hearing him say what he said. Well, you don't believe Jesus rose again and everything. I'm sitting like, so, you know, well, you got to go to Bible study. I've been going to Bible study. They never read from the front to back, because if they do that, you're going to get to the verse that says God maketh everything, you know, right in his time, you know, so that no man can figure out the work that God maketh from beginning to the end. And when you hear that, you're going to think, then what the hell is Genesis and what the hell is Revelations? Because if no man can figure out the work that God maketh from beginning to the end, why is that here in this book? You know, I mean, you're gonna get to some stuff that don't make sense. I mean, you got shit that's literal, and then you got a parable. So, like I was saying, when I asked my dad about what, okay, well, tell him what the parable is then, because if you know, the parable is about the woman's womb. Okay, the woman's womb in the kingdom of heaven is her womb, and the woman, the black woman, is God, because it started with black first, black woman. Okay, and then that's why you have, you know, mother. I mean, you have Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and not, you know, because the Europeans took out the woman, because you can't have a father or a son without a woman in the first place. He said, no, and then you get to the part where it says, what is the image of God? And then, what is the image of God in the Bible, it says. And then it says, the firstborn of every creature. Okay, so what is the firstborn of every creature? I'm the firstborn. Matter of fact, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of my mom and my dad. So I'm the firstborn of my mother. And I look a lot like my mother. I'm a carbon copy of my mother. 666, 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons equals carbon equals man, and that's me. Okay, I look like the creator. Who was my creator? My mama. That's all it is. Like, you just gotta, damn. This stuff that, and I didn't know none of this stuff until I got out, because I was stuck in the doctrine. I didn't read the Bible. I got serious because I was like, stuff is wrong. What the fuck is going on? My pastor tells me that I need to fucking put in my tithe. I put in my 10%, and he said, God will bless me. That same fucking week, I got fired from the job that she found me, that I was lucky to find, that's struggled for her to find, and she even built a resume the whole nine, and I got in there, and I was in there for 2 years working a computer job that I always wanted to work because I loved computers, and I actually liked that job, a job that I actually liked, and I didn't get blessed. My blessing that I liked a lot was taken away after I donated my 10% for the first time, which I was supposed to be blessed, by the way, and I didn't get a better job, and I've still been struggling since then. Okay, and I've had shit where lights turned off where I was a Christian and when I wasn't a Christian. Okay, and during the time where sometimes you get that crunch time where you're in the process of looking for another job, and then the apartment people's like, hey, you either gonna give us this money, find a way to give us this money, or you can get evicted. So coming up to that eviction amount, I go and I make a donation page, and I go on my Facebook, and I have all these freaking Christians that's on there, always posting Christian stuff, always posting that stuff, and not one motherfucker donated $1. Not one motherfucker on there, not one supposed Christian on there. And that's not the only thing. I had to hear from her how a lady was a Christian, and this dude was coming towards her, looking for a Christian person to save him because somebody was coming to kill this dude. So basically, a Christian person would say, oh no, so I don't know whether or not this dude's going to go to hell or heaven, okay, but he's probably going to go to hell, so let me just tell him about Jesus and everything else, or try to get him to repent, or pray for him, or something. But or even, she could have even gave him directions or told him what to do, because he's in survival mode. He's trying to live, okay? And so, all she does, her being a Christian, this is her words. And I'm going to tell you what her words were and what somebody else said to her. This is what her words were. I'm sorry, I told him that I couldn't do anything for him. And then somebody else said to her, you had God's shielding grace around you. What the fuck is that?
Shield of protection.
Yeah, shield of protection around you. What the fuck is that? If she had her God's shield of protection around her, then why shouldn't that guy stand next to her so he can have it around him too? Okay? Because first of all, you're supposed to be a Christian. You're supposed to be, this is your prime actual moment to show what Christianity is about. Saving lives. But it's not about that. It's about manipulating people. It's about controlling people. It's about fucking people's minds up. It's about mental abuse, physical abuse, ritual abuse, spiritual abuse, all wrapped in one. Because guess what? Isaiah 45:7, the God created evil. Sorry, go there, look it up. I mean, that's why they don't read the whole fucking thing with the study in the Bible, because you're gonna know who created evil in the first place. While he's sitting there and God's sitting there in the Bible acting like he's too goody two shoes, and everybody's praising the dude who created evil in the first damn place. Because, mental abuse is when somebody tells you to do something. Y'all know, whoever's been abused, y'all know what mental abuse is. It's when you're told to do something, you do it, and you get grounded, hit, punched, or you have to do a whole bunch of exercises, or go in the corner and squat. That's what I had to do. Go in the corner and squat with my hands up until I fell down for 15 minutes, and I have to get back up and keep on doing it until the 15 minutes was over. Okay? So, mental abuse is when you're told to do something, and then you do it, okay, and then you get in trouble. So, what does God say? We suffer from the lack of knowledge. What did Adam and Eve try to do? They tried to go get some knowledge, and everybody's punished because of it, and so were they.
Yeah, but
mental abuse.
Yeah, but in the Bible, it also basically says in the Bible, and if you guys want me to get the direct part of it, in the Bible, it also says that it is important for you to have knowledge. So one end, they're punished for seeking knowledge, but on the other end, knowledge is held up as being good. So, if you want me to get that verse, comment below. I'll put put that verse in front of you, whatever, so that because it's contradicting itself in terms of knowledge.
You may have to go to Butterfly Spirit 314 because that'll be on her channel when she posts that. Okay, because when we do these collabs, it goes on our separate channels. So
yeah, but it's fine either way. Just comment either one, and then we'll kind of get to it.
I mean, these are the things, and they just kept saying, "Well, I'm gonna keep praying." I'm like, my dad, like I said, in the month of February, I had to do 3 book reports on Black history, on people in Black history. So I thought he would be proud of me. You know what I mean? Like I thought he would be proud of me. And he tells me, "Oh, you must be studying it wrong, or you gotta study." So I try to tell him about the prophecy of the Bible, where one of the prophecies about the Twin Towers and the 2 planes supposed to be hitting 2 tall buildings. And he's like, "Well, where does it say that? I don't know what preacher you heard that from." And I'm sitting there like, "How you haven't heard of that? That's supposed to be a prophecy. That's supposed to be one of the prophecies." I was like, "Well, I don't know what preacher you heard that from. I don't know what cracked ass preacher you heard that from." I'm like, the preacher I heard that from was the church that you've been making me go to when I was little, when I lived with you. When I told him on the phone, just 2 weeks ago.
And what did he say?
And he didn't say anything. He was just sitting there quiet. Like, the church that he was sending me to was telling me that stuff. Because the 9/11 happened when I was in the middle school. So, what are you going to say about that? That's just the disappointing things. And all the time, I can't help but hear all the times that my grandpa said, "You're my first grandson. You're my first grandson. First grandson, son, I love you." The times my dad said, when he starts getting his sentimental days, when he thinks about my mom and how he messed up, he'll think about me and my sister then, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're my first son. You're the oldest. My first son," like they're proud of that or something, which made me feel proud. I used to think they was talking to me, but now that I'm not a Christian, I found out that all that stuff, they're being grounded, that they was never talking to me. They was talking to the Christian, me being a Christian. They was never talking to me actually that.
Yeah, there's a part in the Bible that actually talks about, it speaks about the importance of the firstborn. So that would be speaking to the Christian aspect of it. I believe the part of the Bible that speaks to is saying if a guy has if he has 2 women, one he loves, one he does not love, whichever one of the women that he's with who has the firstborn, that's the one who he's going to give all his stuff to or whatever, and his inheritance or whatever. And it turns out that the guy in the Bible ended up basically having a first child with the woman he did not love or unlove or something like that. I don't know what the hell that means. But basically the thing is that the guy ends up giving his stuff to the child who was first born, whose mother the guy really didn't love or whatever. And the child who was, from the woman he did love was the second child. But I guess that kind of stems from that whole Christian resource or whatever. I was actually looking in my Bible. Actually, every time I'm in my Bible, I always find something new. But the real version of it is every time in my Bible, I always find something more fucked up than the last thing. So, I'm just being serious. I always do find something, and especially as far as it is when I discover stuff about, I was talking about things like slavery, and talking about the experience of Black people and stuff like that. If there's any Black people literally watching, you'd be surprised the stuff that it says about us, and that it talks about how it's better for a child who is I guess a child that dies early or something than experience of the Black man or the Black woman's life or whatever. It talks about how basically the reason for slavery, in which the part where it says that basically the people, like the slave master who owns slaves, it doesn't really say slave master, but the reason that they have slaves is because they want more and more and more money, and they're never satisfied. So they work their slaves harder and shit to make that money because they're never satisfied. And it even refers to slaves to Black people as in basically the slave goes to sleep angry you know, because they can never be satisfied because they never get the things that they see the white people having. So the Bible itself is racist too because it's condoning slavery. And it even talks about a portion in there talking about a person that is hanged is cursed or something.
Yeah, which we
That's
know
even
which we know that would be black folks, and it's talking about how it takes, and I started to realize, oh man, it's talking about ancient Kemet, because ancient Kemet, this is ancient Egypt, okay, ancient Kemet, where they worshipped a black woman, and she was a queen, she was queen,
Mhm.
and she had the gold and the pearls and all these different things, and the Bible has a whole section how it strips her all the way from everything, from the headdress, from the we know some African women have the elongated necks with the rings, and
Yeah.
it takes all that away, and it's like instead of beauty, it will be a stink, and instead of this, it'll be a that, and it goes all the way down to where he says, and then God will reveal her private parts, and she'll walk around her private parts. So he basically unclothes her and has her walk around next, and he reveals her private parts, her vagina and her breasts and her anus, things like that. And I'm just like, but I don't understand when I'm explaining this. These are the things I explain to my dad,
Mhm.
and I explain to my grandpa. And it's like they don't see me, like they didn't care about the situation I went through as a person. I was a Christian during those times. My worst years was when I was a Christian. Okay, like when I actually said the words, I accepted 100% and everything. I want to accept blah 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 100%. With God and Jesus, I had these fucking nightmares. There was night terrors were so bad. I woke up neighbors. I woke up her next to me, and she was getting tired of it because it was every night. And whoa, did you pray about it? Yes. Every night I fucking prayed, please don't let me have a nightmare. And I would have a nightmare that exact night. And I wouldn't defend myself because only Jesus can save you. So when I called to Jesus or I called to God, I didn't get anything. No one would help. And so therefore I felt defenseless, which would make me scream even more because I would be murdered, killed, or, and tortured in this fucking hellfire. Which I know what that is now, which is it's the energy. I basically, because since the Bible wasn't uh, pressed opposed on people in a good way, it was always people's heads were getting chopped off, murder, mayhem, destruction, fucking genocide,
rape,
rape,
just a whole bunch
and
of
so
stuff.
all that was bad energy. So when I said I accept 100%, with me not knowing and me not having the knowledge of its past, I accepted all those people's torments into me. And so every night,
Yeah, and it brought your vibration way down.
yeah, way down. Like I was in the pain that they was in. Okay, like all their energy, I said 100%, boom, and I didn't realize that it was dealing with energy, but I do now. I didn't know I was having dreams like that, but I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically, just wanted to let y'all know that when explaining these things, you think that people would be proud of you, and then you find out that they really don't care about you. They only cared about you or pretended to care about you because you was a Christian. That's it.
Hmm?
They wasn't talking to you. They was talking to like the police do. Like they was talking to your straw man. Where they're asking you questions and things like that. They're talking to your straw man. Where they say, "I love you. You're my favorite son, or your favorite grandson, and you're only the firstborn, and you should be proud of that, and all this and that." It's only because you was a Christian. It's only because you subscribe to their religion. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
They're not talking to you. That special feeling you feel inside, well, when you leave, you'll find out that feeling that they gave towards you, that leaves too. Because they're saying you're tripping, you're crazy, and you need to go back and all this other stuff, but you're sitting there trying to tell them the truth. And they keep on asking me stupid shit. They kept asking me, where'd you get this from? Where'd you get it from? Yo, I heard about false prophets. You can't talk about false prophets. You can't talk about that stuff if I'm telling you it's coming out of the damn Bible itself.
It's coming out of
It's
Bible.
coming out of what Bible is that? Well, I don't know what Bible you reading. The King James Authorized Bible. Well, I don't know where you got that Bible from. My fucking pastor.
And what they say when you said you got it from pastor.
They was just quiet. Like I got it from him. The person that's in the church who's reading the shit to me. I got my Bible from him.
Yeah, so
I mean,
it is what it is,
just,
I guess. I guess they just
I mean,
know
this
what to
is
say.
like the feeling you have to where you tell people all that stuff that you tried it and they're not hearing none of the shit that you went through because now you are telling them that you have left Christianity. They no longer see you. They only see you when you're in that stuff.
Yeah, and that sucks that they see you that way.
So that excommunication, that excommunicated type shit is real. I feel sorry for the people who Jehovah's Witnesses because y'all get treated way worse, and I'm very sorry about that. Where y'all can't even do it. The only time y'all see each other is at a funeral when no one wants to come out, and I'm sorry about that. But I wasn't raised with that. I don't know how to free y'all from that. I don't know. I don't know that stuff. I don't know Quran stuff. I don't know Christian stuff. You know, so like just like what my dad was saying. Speaking of that, other religions and stuff. But my dad said that I prayed God for wisdom to read the Bible to understand the Bible, and I said yes, and I didn't understand this stuff even afterwards. That's stupid, because imagine saying that to a person who does believe in the Krishna or who does believe in Allah. How are you gonna say that to them? You are asking them to pray to the God that they don't believe in to understand a book before they read it. You can't do that, okay? You can't tell somebody to pray to a person to understand the book because that's not what I was told. Actually, when I was a Christian, I was always being told, read the Bible, it'll change your life.
Oh, it changed your life, all right.
But I mean, I always wanted to avoid it because I didn't want to find more shit that I couldn't even do, even more shit to take away my personality. Because then you get to a point where you just feel like, well, if everybody's going to be the same, why have different personalities? Why come up with these different inventions? Why move forward and progress in life? Why be here? Why have children? If hell is so real, why are these fucking Christians out here coming in here pregnant and having fucking babies? They are fucking evil as fuck. If they believe in that and they're telling people that, they are evil for fucking bringing babies here, believing they're going to go to hell, and you're seeing other people fall out of Christianity and telling everybody you're going to go to hell, and you believe in that, you're going to go to hell. You don't believe it my way, you're going to go to hell. But you still having fucking babies and you're bringing babies here? Something is not right with that. You must not really believe that shit because hell for eternity. You never get out. And God of the Bible has zero patience for anything, for children, for babies or infants. He don't care about that. You getting chopped off, you're getting fucked up, he don't care. He'll burn your ass, he don't care. He will drown you. Okay? So the whole thing is that, when people are Christians and they're talking about hell, and I find out they had a baby, like when I was in a men's meeting, so there's a guy that I admired, and he said that he impregnated his wife and she had a baby, but he was one of the biggest talkers about hell. I was just so disappointed. It really removed me from coming back to those men's meetings because how dare you bring something here, but you believe in hell and you believe that broad and wide is the way to hell and narrow is the way to heaven and all that, and you're saying all this stuff and you're saying all these Bible quotes to people and about hell this and hell that and you're gonna burn, making people feel like utter shit every fucking day, all the time, on Facebook, everywhere you go. But you want to bring a baby here? You are evil as hell. Okay? You are demonic. You. Okay? You got some Satan in you. Okay? Anybody that's a Christian that is having babies that believes in hell, you are. Because that baby, any chance that that baby's not even here yet. Ever been told that God knew you before before you even came here? I was told that. And that was pretty fucked up. That's one of the things that made me want to kill myself. Made me attempt anyway. Because if he already knew me before I got here, and well then, he must really fucking hate me. Because of all the shit I was going through, with all my abuse, and now I have a chance to go to hell for eternity. How dare you? If you knew I was there, and I was already there with you before, and now you want to bring me to a place where I can go to hell for it? Like, and that's what the people say at church. Like I said, this shit will cause suicide. It will. Like, this is not a good thing. Okay? Like I said, I almost tempted 4 times on that account. Okay? Of church. Church, damn it. The indoctrination, the Christianity, and actually trying the shit and the shit not working. Okay? You see, all the time, people killing themselves on the news, but they never show you those letters because If they show you those letters are going to be with Christianity in it. Okay? And it's going to be about how it didn't work in their life and how Jesus just sat there and watched them. Omnipresent, God, omnipresent. All the time, always watching you. Watching you pray. And then watching that shit happen to you and not doing shit about it. Okay, anyway, I just want to let y'all know the complications. And the sucky part of it, it's like they don't even care that I'm proud to be black now, that I have, that I'm happy about being in my own skin, that I no longer have a stigma that I discovered that I had, and I thought they would be proud of that. They're not. They don't care about that. I thought that explaining to them all my experiences and how I tried everything the church said and it didn't work, they don't care about that. They just want me, it's either I'm going to accept Jesus or I'm going to accept him as Lord and Savior or believe he rose again and that's it. Even though the Bible says opposite. Even though the Bible says that it was going to be like Jonah and he was going to live. Even though the Bible says that Jesus was dressed as a gardener, but he told Mary to go lie and say that he did ascend. Okay? But even though he didn't. Okay? Yeah. So I don't understand, where the stuff I'm getting it from is from the Bible. All right? Anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching. Is there anything you wanted to add before we leave?
Well, you're going to be sending something. You're going to be sending your proof to your dad and grandpa and anybody who has any, who feel like they got it all together. Because we've actually been working on something that's going to basically enlighten people about Christianity and what it's really about. Yeah, and it's been taking a while for us to do. Yeah.
We had to type it all. And we're still kind of typing it.
Yeah, we're still doing it, but I feel like it's worth it because
we're at like 27 pages, or I'm at like 27 pages or something like that.
Yeah, it's at 27, but it's going to be longer. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think that with it, it's very important. I think a lot of people subscribe to Christianity, and they do it because they feel like it's going to. They like people here. You become a Christian, you read the Bible, it changes your life. Well, it changes your life, all right, but it doesn't change it for the better. It doesn't do what you think it's going to do. There's people who think they're going to become a Christian because, it's going to get them a job, or it's going to help them feed their family, or it's going to help them to, make it through college, or it's going to, help them, find somebody who is going to be a mate because maybe for that person, they've had a tough time trying to find, a significant other that loves them. So they think if they go to church and pray about it, they think it's going to happen. This is what people think. Or people think if they become a Christian, they think that if they pray, and they go to church, they think that it's going to, save their relative who has cancer or diabetes or, has some other type of disorder or something. Some people do it because they want to become a Christian because they want to get healed, I think in Anwan's other video, he spoke about the guy who, when Anwan was attending church, there was a guy who came to the church and he was missing some fingers. And the guy came to the church hoping that if the people in the church prayed for him, that his fingers would, grow back, out of nowhere, but it didn't happen. So, that's his point positive.
He looked so
sad, yeah.
So sad, super defeated, because he said he saw it on TV. And he said he saw on some YouTube videos that people can't walk, getting healed and things, and his fingers didn't grow back. Because it was with him, it was because it was to either stay with his woman or he wouldn't have his wife anymore. And that's how important it was for him. And to be lied to about how God can make anything happen, and they say, well, everything I pray for, he attended the church, and after he heard somebody say, and a lot of y'all say that too, and he believed it, okay? He heard somebody say, well, everything I pray about, God answers my prayers every time. He always answers my prayers. So nobody can't tell me that prayers don't work. Because every time I pray about stuff, God answers my prayers. That's what the guy heard. Because somebody actually rose their hand and they said that as a testimony. So when he heard that, the moment he heard that, he heard it and believed it, okay, as well as the stuff he saw on TV. So now he had that person. He said, I want that person to pray for me. I want my fingers grow back. Never. And he never came back either. He never came back into the church saying that he grew back, a week later, nothing like that. Nothing. Okay? So he was very super defeated because he sees it instantly happening on TV.
Well, I don't know how he could see it instantly happening on TV. I mean,
because they can't. Oh, I can't walk in, and boom, they get up.
oh, yeah. If you watch you know what the hell is it? You watch TD Jakes or something like that or whatever, and other pastors on TV do that too. But a lot of people don't realize is that they make millions of dollars off of you guys sending in money so you can get prayed for and stuff. But they not gonna help you in your time of need. They ain't gonna help you if you losing your house, you losing your job.
Yeah, where's
you
your
ain't got
10%?
no food. You know what I'm saying?
Let's have TD Jakes with his millions of dollars donate. He can change your life with his 10%.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can. I mean, you don't believe? You think these people fucking true? Go ahead, ask them. Ask them. Write a letter to them to donate 10%. That's supposed to be God's money. It's not your money. That's God's money. So you need to donate that 10% of your check to the people who need help. So go ahead, TD Jakes. Go ahead, ask them. Ask your own pastor of the church you're going to. Go ahead and tell them, the Lord laid it on my heart for you to help me with my bill and pay my bill this month, for pay my rent this month so that I can get more things done. The Lord laid it on my heart. And they always say that to y'all. Go say it to them.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. If they help you.
Go
ahead.
I'm pretty much done.
All right.
I just want to let y'all know the complications of these things and who's your grandpa really talking to? Who's your dad's really talking to?
Who is your people in your family? Your mom, your dad, your aunt.
Who are they really talking to when they're expressing these love feelings and things like that? Are they talking to the person that no matter what you are, Satanist, wicked, no matter what you choose to be for your religion, for whatever your reasons, they'll love you. No matter what you're going through, your hardships, they will try their best to understand. Is it that you, the person, you that's going through some things, or are they loving the religious you, the you that's just because you're in a religion? They're loving the religion of you, not you actually. That no matter what you are, they'll do their best to help you and love you. That's all I gotta say. It sucks, but I'm gonna send them the packet when I'm finished with it.
Yeah.
Internet's down, so I just need to get my internet back up. When you see me upload these videos, I'm at a library uploading them. So that's how
important this is. So
yeah. So thank y'all.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching.